Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're today with the 10 series of the Sigma tiller made in Italy. It's sold under the Phoenix brand, distributed by Uniform. I've sold these tillers for over 20 years in this brand and gone through a lot of different brands. This is my favorite brand. It's not the cheapest, but it does have a lot of features on it that make it worth its money. These clevis hitches here, which will come in the upright position, remember to put them in their lower position when you get them. The only other thing that won't be assembled when you get this tiller will be the upper A-frame, which just has the bolts here on the side, and the drive shaft has to be put on your PTO here. Other than that, the main assembly and everything comes together when you receive it. This has 6 blades per rotor, has a really thick tine, so it gives you a lot of wearing room. Has a real large and thick torque tube in there, which is what takes all the torque all the way across this whole load. This is a gear-driven tiller. Gear versus chain, I'm not sure which is best because I've never had a failure out of either, out of a high-quality tiller. Seems like the bigger ones, all the bigger ones are gear-driven, the smaller ones are chain. People always ask which is the best. I've never had a problem out of either with this brand. So this is a gear, I like it fine. What's unique about the Sigma brand tiller, this whole torque tube comes out to be able to change the blades on it or replace the seal if you get a piece of wire in there, cuts one of your oil seals. With just a few bolts on each side, you can remove the whole piece. Also, this is a slip clutch instead of a shear bolt here. So when you hit a large rock or piece of wood or something that was in your garden or field that you didn't know was there, instead of shearing the bolt and having to get off on a hot day and replace it, it's simply gonna slip this clutch here and this will stop. Your clutch will be slipping. When you remove the debris or it goes over it, then it will continue back working without having to do any repair. This is a Euro cardan shaft. It's one of the finest shafts made in the industry. So they use all top-notch stuff. Their gearbox is made in Italy also, where the rest of this is made. So turn us around over to the side, Peanut. It has a casted piece here on the end that is greasable, and that's going to grease the side that's not your drive side. It has a 1/2 inch thick runner here, which is going to give you a lot of life because you're going to basically drag that through the ground. It also has 4 position holes here to adjust the height of how deep you're tilling. It has a 1-piece tailgate that's very heavy duty. It's adjustable here with the chain. And this is, you do several things with this tailgate. You're adjusting how coarse or how fine that you're leaving the ground that you're tilling. Between your ground speed and your tailgate are the 2 determining factors that's gonna be how my ground looks when I'm through. Like in our red clay, we don't wanna pulverize it to like dust because when it rains, it'll turn into concrete. In sandy area, you can continue to till it, get it nice and smooth, and it's not gonna turn hard like our dirt does. So for different areas, and you know where you are, will determine how you want your ground and how easy it is to plant. Turn this around over here to the side. These do come with oil in them. You've got a sight glass right here on the side. As long as you see oil in it, you're good here. There's also a dipstick on the end of this. It should have oil in it when you get it, but remember to check it before you use it. So this is all gear drive inside this case here. Has a vent at the top, has a kickstand here. Roll this around onto the front again, Peanut. Remember on your kickstand that you're basically, this whole system is on a big wheel that would let it fall on you if it didn't have a kickstand. The other important thing is getting the drive shaft, your PTO shaft length correct. So what you want to do is make sure that your tiller is not leaning real far forward or real far backwards when you're deciding when to cut this. Because if you've got it one way or the other, being that a tiller sits very close to your tractor instead of real far away, say like the gearbox on a rotary cutter, which is several feet further back, then you have plenty of telescopic room on your drive shaft, and you rarely need to cut it, and you rarely overcut it because there's so much overlap. On a tiller, because your shaft is so short, and you need at least 6 inches minimum of overlap on your drive shaft, you don't want to cut it too short. So make sure that you can look at our video on how to measure and cut your shaft. That'll give you an idea of how to measure it, how to cut it, and get it all right the first time. Just remember to keep it rotated, to have this straight up and down when you're measuring it. If you need any help, assistance getting the right size tiller or making a choice, just give us a call or an email at Everything Attachments. We'll be happy to help you.